Hello guys and welcome. Good morning. Hopefully you're all having a great day.
We certainly are.
Myself and Lizard are not. You can hear from my voice and, well, you can't hear from him, but his stomach might start grumbling in a little bit. We do have some sick Dota 2 for you today though, as we can just quickly move into the draft. It has already progressed pretty far for the Dream versus Forward Gaming here for ESL One Katowice 2019 in the group stage.
Yeah, we have some... Well, actually, guys, as you can see, the draft is about to end. And we just joined, just like you guys did, so we haven't really seen the draft until right now. And it's looking alright for Forward to Dream. It looks like they have everything. You have the Razor, you can put him versus Bristle or the Ember, he should do fine. You can suck that damage out of any one of those melee heroes. You have the Jug on that, most likely... Well, I don't know where they're gonna put the Jug. Like wherever they want to, versus the Bristle, versus the Ember, it works either way. You have the Tidehunter on the offlane most likely for them, and then Rubik and other Titan supports. Just your casual for the Dream draft, nothing really out of the ordinary. On Forward Gaming we have the Bristle Crystal Maiden, most likely gonna be that duo on the offlane. Crystal Maiden has been buffed a bit. That mana has always been nice for Bristleback, and now that she's an Iron Maiden, not a Crystal Maiden, that ultimate can definitely hurt if you don't have any interruptions, which for the Dream definitely does not lack. They do have many CCs, many ways of actually cancelling that ultimate, so...
And even Rubik stealing it.
And even Rubik stealing it, obviously, which is super easy for him. He can steal the Crystal Maiden's ult, he can steal the Bane's ult. Both of these spells are channeled and just... easy peasy for Rubik this match.
So Forward have their two supports. They've got Ember, they can slot into the 1 and 2 positions. Bristle, same story, 3 and 1. You can go across multiple roles. You know, you've said FTD have got everything they need. They've ticked all the boxes. What does Forward? What are they lacking?
I guess Forward gets a Rezo hero here.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
The AM.
They get the Rezo AM, a hero that's pretty good versus that Jug. Later on, right? Jug used to be really strong versus AM when Jug was broken, when his healing ward healed for 1,000,000 HP per second, and you would
7%,
and you would just use that ward and crush his base before he even gets that Battle Fury. Now, however, the games do end fast, but Anti-Mage usually does manage to get that Manta, and if he does get that Manta, he's just there on time to deal with the Jug. So I like the AM pick versus the Jug. I actually find the AM favored there. If he's laning versus the Tidehunter, you can also just burn his mana out constantly, so he cannot anchor smash you. You could put the AM perhaps versus the Razor too, and then just blink out of the link, right? So that's an option for them, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see how Forward Gaming decides to lane their draft. As these guys, Forward, they are the ones that have to adapt to this game.
It looks like they want to try and just push it late game, doesn't it?
Yes, but I'm just talking about the laning stage. In the laning stage, they are the team that has to adapt because...
dance around
that Razor. You have to figure out the way to actually dodge him, or what do you do about him. Because you have 3 melee cores basically, so you have to do something about that. We'll see what they decide to go for. Right now it seems like, yeah, it's gonna be that resolution mid. Yeah, it's... For great analysts such as Garrett, this was obvious. He knew
obvious
instantly. I wasn't really certain instantly, but I thought that maybe that AM is gonna go mid, because if you take that blink, you can blink out of the static link and then just continue farming. Basically, it's a decent counter to the Razor. Still, this Tidehunter should have an easy lane on the offlane, and then this Bristle shouldn't really suffer way too hard versus Jug.
Yep. Well, we've got daily votes for your Mercedes MVP for Katowice. Make sure you get your votes in. I'm not sure who's going to be the MVP of this game, but we've got a quick little video for you. I do wonder who's going to be the MVP of this one. It looks like we've got a little bit of lag. Not sure where that's coming from. See if we can fix that up in a little bit. But the lanes, as they're setting up, we've got Chan Chan on the Tide with James Rubik. SVG not going to get in there. for the bounty rune. 2 for forward down bottom. MSS Maiden with Universe on the bristleback, facing up against Faded Juggernaut.
He instantly buys a stick here, I believe. Yeah, he gets that stick versus the bristle. And just starts... I wonder, is Maiden gonna use Crystal Nova on these creeps? What's he doing here? What is MSS trying to do? No, he's just scouting something out.
Just saying hello.
Yeah, there is Elder Titan though. Also, he wants to say hi too, and he actually wants to do a bit more than just say hi, it seems.
He wants cuddles.
He wants cuddles
Hug
with
time.
Crystal Maiden. I mean, who wouldn't want to cuddle with Crystal Maiden? I mean, maybe not me, she's very cold, but...
You need a warm-blooded woman for yourself.
Yeah.
QYQX with the big punches. Drops MSS reasonably low.
He's gonna get... yeah. Few punches on the MSS get him low, but also the Elder Titan did suffer quite a lot there from those quill sprays, so he's gonna have to fall back a bit. Well, how's that mid lane going? Is Anti-Mage actually doing fine?
He's 2 and 4 against the 3-0 of Razor with a full creep wave coming in.
So he's doing quite alright right now.
First couple of waves. Resolution, and there's the blink you're talking about, straight away out of the static link. So Rezo mid against YRG's Razor. Top lane, Rubik tied against Ember and Bane. It's quite an interesting one, you know. Not a great number of ways here for FTD to burn through Flame Guard.
And you have the pure damage from Brain Sap versus the Tide, which is always kind of nice. Overall, I believe forwards should be fine here. And this, are you even trying? As he's actually tilting Razor mid.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Because Razor should be tilted. This isn't the lane that you want to play as Razor. If you're playing Razor, you want to dominate, you want to crush that lane. He's playing versus an anti-mage that's melee, that's able to farm against him, and that's always just linking out from these links. So,
well, Universe not committing for that. Just gets a bit of extra damage towards the poor little Elder Titan. One good thing for FTD is they've got the Rubik with boots already, so unlikely for James to drop top. Just has to keep that Tide defended as he drags these creep waves across. Yawa doesn't seem too bothered by it though, CSing under his tower reasonably well.
yeah, he's doing fine. Like, they aren't really pressuring him at all, and once he gets those levels in Flame Guard, like this lane can be very volatile. Well, did I say that right? I did? Alright, it can go either way, honestly. There's skill potential on both sides, so it's gonna be definitely fun to check this lane every now and then. On the bottom lane though, I feel that only if Bristle overcommits he can die, as they have no slows on the Radiant side, so Crystal Maiden plus Bristle, they can make some plays, but it's very hard for them to die here. Unless Elder Titan starts stomping them with a million stacks. It's always possible.
Well, he doesn't have any big stacks made up just yet.
Wait, what's happening? 3 minutes in, we haven't seen First Blood.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Everyone's just kind of poking and prodding, looking for these weaknesses, and nobody's giving any weaknesses or showing them. In top lane, creep wave at the Radiant tier 1. Bane for SVG looking just to pull across. This might be an opening for Rubik to come in and contest. Bane, not the tankiest of guys, even with that Brain Sap. James holding the lift for now. One little Brain Sap makes SVG heal back up almost to full.
Yeah, he doesn't really hit for a whole lot with that Fade Bolt. That Fade Bolt is so good. I'm actually surprised that people are still going for telekinesis this early on. I guess sometimes it's all right. I think still though, as a support Rubik, you're much better off getting that Arcane Supremacy most of the time with your Fade Bolt. You have more mana to work with, you deal more damage, you just cast that a million times, then you go die to a tower and that's it.
The old Skywrath play.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Only that you spam it on a core so much that he misses last hits as he gets reduced damage.
SVG popping the mango. Looking for that nightmare opening into the Searing Chains onto Tide, and Chan dropping so low the Brain Sap can finish him off.
Lift maybe would have worked if it was like the old lift there, but...
Well, bottom lane, Universe is in trouble now. Nice, Crystal Nova slows them enough. But with one more Spirit, QYQX gets the takedown and now faded in a 1v1 against poor little Crystal Maiden. Spun into oblivion. The final damage through the stick charges, perfect.
Did you see that? Like, Crystal Maiden died just when the Blade Fury ended. if Elder Titan decided to run instead of hit her once, she most likely survives for a few more seconds.
Yeah, then the stick charges maybe let her run
yeah.
away, right? Because she's got...
Exactly. She gets those stick charges, she uses Nova or something, and then maybe Bristol saves her. Every single thing that you do in this game matters. It's always nice to see these little things coming into place.
Oh, that's a juicy stack there that Rubik has scouted, but Tide getting 3-man in this top lane. Crystal Maiden has made the maneuver to deal with the Tide Hunter and Chan Chan. Okay, the Anchor Smash actually buying him enough time until the Nightmare arrives. SVG is there with MSS to blast down the poor Tide Hunter and a Nightmare onto James.
3
They have another
seconds for
chains?
chains.
61.
1 second.
They've got him surely here. They'll die. Oh,
Oh, Yavar.
dearie me.
Sumail wouldn't have missed that.
He absolutely wouldn't.
I don't know. What was he doing there?
I mean, yeah, he had options as well, right? He could have waited literally 1 second for Sleight of Fist.
Yep.
He's got Quelling Tango to cut the trees. A little Duke.
That Rubik should have died, definitely.
Absolutely. Down bottom, Omni Slash clears up. Universe has faded. Grabs himself a solo kill on the Bristleback. And mid lane resolution finally brought down as Elder Titan and Razor pair up for a kill in the mid. SVG, Nightmare to try and disengage. MSS coming in with Yawar as well. Forward want to turn this into a proper team fight, and there's the Slight. Quick kill. Quick evacuation.
Yeah, for the Dream, definitely stepping it up a little bit in this laning stage now. They get them on board with a couple of these kills that were definitely needed for them. Faded is zoned out by Universe right now a bit, and as he has no Omni Slash to work with, it's very hard for him to stay on that lane. He's gonna go shrine up with his boy Razor. They're gonna meet up for a drink at that shrine in the forest. Very romantic.
Yeah, guys, we're aware of the FPS problems. Not entirely sure where it's coming from, but we'll restart everything after this game and make sure it's all nice and crisp for you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just dropping a few frames every couple of seconds. Somewhere along the line. So a pretty balanced game so far. Resolution now taking up the top lane. He's going to get himself a full double wave of farm.
Yeah, Ember has that 6, so he's able to stay mid. So far, I thought Universe is gonna do much better on this offlane, but he hasn't. I don't see Bristle picked a lot unless he's picked with Kotl.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a little interesting to see how he actually fares on this offlane. As that hero, there's a reason why he's not picked. If you crush him in the lane, he just has such a hard time coming back, even with stacks.
They've got a couple of stacks made for him.
Top lane, this Bane might die.
Oh, they've all converged around SVG.
SVG is gone. I mean, it's his job to die. It's fine. But these stacks, they probably should have. They probably shouldn't have given them away that easily. It's always hard when you're making these stacks here. It feels like Radiant has easier access to them than Dire. So if they rotate to pressure this tier 1, which they are gonna do, eventually they can take the stacks as well.
Where's Yawar going? Arcane Rune in bottle.
Where is Yavar going indeed? That's the question.
Using Universe as some kind of bait down here. Bristleback just clearing waves, cutting through, pressuring that tier 1.
Elder Titan is smart enough so far, the way he's hiding in the trees and where he's hiding in the trees.
I like that.
And the way he's moving that spirit,
yeah,
basically does not allow them to figure out where he is, but now after the spirit is reclaimed, they'll know.
Hello. Yawar has slight chains, another remnant forward. It's going to catch on. QIQX pretty much stuck here with nowhere to run. Pops his stick charges and will get a stomp down, but the Nightmare and the remnant make sure that forward do not get caught by it.
Nice little pick off. He tried to be cute with the spirit. Everything he did made sense, but sadly for him, the spirit has to return to him. Instantly it's a dead giveaway.
And now forward collapsing on mid. YRG, even with a long static link on the Maiden here, is dropping incredibly low, surrounded by forward, and overcommits on a little Crystal Maiden who survives. MSS is just waving goodbye. Now they go towards QIQX and Elder Titan. Even with Faded here, this team fight, it feels scattered and scrappy. Forward just trying to reset. Don't want to get Omni slashed as an individual, so Yawa will TP. MSS just trying to hold them back with Crystal Nova, but that is a full evacuation from the Radiant jungle by forward. Nicely done, but the bounty runes, I think, FTD here should at least have one of them secured, if not two, as Fader just sprints towards the northern one.
Yeah, Faded is gonna get that taste as well, has Omni Slash, and now... Is he gonna hunt someone down? Is he gonna find a kill? SVG perhaps.
He will spin him down. He does.
No.
What's his name again?
Do you have a friend that screams Juggernaut every now and then? No?
No?
Oh, I do. I thought that...
Is it Killer Pigeon?
Nah. I thought that every group of Dota players have that one friend that's like Juggernaut enthusiast and just screams his name, you know? But I guess not. Maybe that's just this crazy friend of mine.
I have an Ogre enthusiast in my stack as well.
That's Pigeon, though.
No, he's a Tusk enthusiast, or an Omni enthusiast now, as the full duration of Fiend's Grip and Ember arriving seals the end of the Razor.
They have so many interrupts to deal with that Fiend's Grip. It's really interesting that they didn't manage to stop it. And that Razor, a hero that's fairly tanky right now, dies to it. Perhaps they should move a bit better when it comes to FTD supports. I think they should maybe be on spot behind their cores, defending them. Especially this Razor. Like, Jug can spin eventually. At least if there's no grip, he can spin and get out. But Razor, he needs some support. He needs some help.
He sure does. He's had a pretty atrocious game so far. I mean, 11.5 minutes in. Yeah, he's level 9 up near the top with a Juggernaut. 4,400 net worth doesn't look so bad comparatively now, as AM has struggled.
Who's buying utility on the side of forward, though?
Nobody. It's all damage in late game, isn't it?
Bristol, Vanguard, you know, that's one of the reasons why he's not picked so much as well. Like, the only thing that he buys for the team is eventually a pipe. That's it, if he even gets that pipe.
That Crimson Pipe, yeah.
Yeah, so...
So this is...
No Vlads, nothing like that.
Yeah, and you look at the Tidehunter. Vlad's phase, Juggernaut's ready with the Yasha. This timing... FTD are just trying to exploit the fact that Anti-Mage isn't a hero for the next 7-8 minutes, right?
Yeah, they have to, though. This is the way you play Jug versus Anti-Mage. You have to pressure these towers. You have to go in. You have to take control of the map as early as possible. Because he's going to start creep skipping very soon. Doesn't have that Battle Fury yet, so it's still easy to catch him, but... Once he does, this Jug can be in a lot of problems. He's going for Maelstrom, actually, so it's Yasha into Maelstrom.
Yeah, he really is just stepping up the tempo, isn't he?
I like the build. I think it's like either 2 raid bands into Yasha into Battle Fury, or 2 raid bands into Yasha into Maelstrom. Well, he didn't buy 2 raid bands. He went with 1, but it's alright. It's still good. The big magic wand was definitely useful in that lane.
That magic wand replacement was kind of necessary against the Bristleback, wasn't it?
It's definitely a good item there.
So Juggernaut is going to see that smoke. SVG smokes and wards under full vision of the Radiant team.
And Jug just ports out. He's very careful about the way he plays. He understands that, yeah, he is Jug, but he is also playing... Oh, bottom lane Tide just goes.
Yeah, he held the Ravage. He could have Ravaged to stop the freezing field and maybe keep himself alive a little longer, but with no reinforcements nearby, he holds that Ravage for the next proper team fight.
Yeah.
Which I wonder, is it going to be tier 1 bottom, or is it Roshan time soon for the Radiant? First of all, I'll move in on Universe. Stomp is going to get dodged by the Bristleback, and in comes SVG, but the Omni Slash is already flying around, bouncing onto the Bristle, and SVG dips back into the trees. Rain saps and keeps himself alive, but the grip is immediately cut short. And Universe drop into YRG. FTD put their foot down.
He has plus 200 damage. You don't really turn towards him as a Bristleback. It's hard for them to take Rosh. They do have Lads, honestly, and they do have Healing Ward. So it is an option to go for Rosh. But at the same time, I don't think they feel forced to right now. Maybe just pressure the map a bit more. Even if you take that Aegis, what's the big objective that you can take with it?
That's true. You're not really going high ground in the next 5-6 minutes.
So all these outer towers, perhaps, just on the back of that Ravage. I think, like, you asked, could he have used that Ravage to stay alive on the bottom lane? And you can, definitely. But the thing is, if you use that Ravage, it's not only that you use that big spell defensively, it's the fact that you won't have it for the next, 150 seconds. And because of that, you don't feel as safe pushing in, which is a big issue.
It's that big threat of the big ulti.
Yeah. Like, people don't get it. Like, just the threat of the ulti is good enough to push. You don't have to use it ever. It's just having it. It's gonna deter good players from trying to fight you there.
It's always in the back of your head. If I go in and Tide survives, could just be a big ravage on me. So AM. And what are we, like 600 gold away from Battle Fury still?
Yeah, 15 minutes in. Not the worst timing, not the best timing either.
He will get given bottom lane though as Yawar and MSS. Swinging deep into this Radiant jungle, finding YRG. And Yule's up with a static link from the Razor. Opens it up to maybe make a play onto Yawar, but the freezing field...
Run away, you fool!
Massive damage, and this Remnant forward not quite going to catch enough damage onto the Razor. So with the ET's arrival, poor little MSS gets zapped.
Poor little MSS, he almost killed the core Razor. But Razor tried to fight Crystal Maiden. You don't fight the Iron Maiden any longer. You run away. Unless you can interrupt that ulti, you just run away. It's not something you can deal with it any longer, especially not in these early states of the game.
And as soon as that Yule's got used,
yep,
freezing field arrives. Double damage rune Juggernaut. Here we go.
There we go. That definitely allows you to do Rosh. They also have Ravage, but Tide has been caught. They do have Fiend's Grip for him. I think they can kill him here even.
Oh, Chan. It's just this, again, you were talking about it, threat of the Ravage, forward with no mana on Ember. We'll have to fall back to the Shrine, really to contest and fight around Roshan here. Chan is reasonably low on mana, but 13 one charges in the pocket. Means Tide is literally just a bodyguard outside the front of the pit. From the northwest though, Yawar and SVG, they are sneakily moving in. Universe creating a bit of chaos on the right-hand side, basically clapping and shouting, making loud noises, trying to draw the attention of FTD off to the right-hand side of the fight, but they've already cleared up Aegis, and in they go with a Razor and Omni Slash. Universe drops. Oh, not quite. A little more damage required. Bristleback's Vanguard, it kept him up and running. Stomp and Yule Scepter not really timed to perfection there, but Remnant stolen, and Rubik could make some nifty maneuvers. Nightmares holding them in place. Yawar, he can't continue this one forward. They are just going to retreat. FTD.
SVG.
Where is he? Oh, my goodness. He's very deep, isn't he?
He's creating some space.
For Resolution to finish Battle Fury and get 1,000 gold saved up as well.
He's just creating some space. And that's what I do as well. As a position 5, you just run around, create some space. It's alright.
Yeah. We will be restarting OBS after this. Not entirely sure where the frames are going.
Where are the frames going? Who's stealing the frames?
Zero dropped frames.
Yeah. Could it be the PC?
No, 5.6% on the CPU.
Is it the same one?
I think
same PCs or that one and that?
Yeah, that's just a preview. I think it is just OBS is glitched.
Oh yeah, most likely.
Oh wow, that's really bad.
Yeah, that's like...
OBS is lagging really hard. It's just OBS is bugged. Very good. That's... Yeah, that doesn't help at all. Oh well. We are just going to have to restart at the end of this game.
It's all fine. You guys love PowerPoint presentations, and so do we. As a kid, how many PowerPoint presentations did you make?
Loads of them.
Right?
I haven't made one in like 10 years or something.
I can't remember. I can't remember making it in elementary school. Oh.
That's the Aegis being popped. Fiend's Grip catches that spinning Juggernaut, and now the Nightmare to hold the Razor in place, but SVG gonna have to give his life for this.
I love how Jug took the sleep away from Razor for some reason, so that the Razor gets a kill on Bane instead of him. Like that's true friendship right there, giving your fellow core a kill, even though you're a bigger core than he is. Truly in this match.
Yeah,
that's true love right there. That's true love.
Jug already has his items. Razor needs a BKB quickly.
Letting someone get your kills, it's like awesome.
True friendship.
True friendship indeed. So, right now, I still think Antimage is doing quite fine. He has that Yasha flying towards him, and his farm is gonna accelerate. He's gonna farm faster and faster. He's still not on top of net worth, And you definitely do want to be there as an anti-mage. But he's getting there, slowly.
Have we seen a Ravage yet?
Is under attack.
It's the threat!
It is just like Chan Chan's just running around in circles, walking his big watermelon body into the middle of forward, and they are so scared of Ravage that they can't commit to this. Full duration.
They might dive Universe here. He has that lads, but as Vanguard, that is he tanky enough? Ravage!
There we go. All right.
He's
Ravage
like, you're not getting away. I'm not gonna let you escape this time. You're just gone, sir.
But what do they get off the back of this?
Nothing.
Feels like very little.
They got Universe.
Ember is cutting right down bottom, so they can't push tier 2. AM's top lane farming away. Juggernaut has to come back and defend it, and a fight onto the Ember. SVG with a quick nightmare to stop the stomp. And Yawar, I think he's okay, just to remnant out, so they focus on SVG instead. Elder Titan being focused, you're right. The drums from Yawar and SVG right-clicking away. QIQX falls.
At the same time, Anti-Mage split pushing mid, found the Illusion Rune, just farming away. How many, like, how do you catch Anti-Mage? You have the lift on Rubik, and that's about it. Like, you can't really stop him from doing this.
Lift, stomp, Ravage.
Yeah, I
Use
mean,
all of your spells.
I mean, with Ravage on lift, yeah, but you need the blink on Rubik. I think he needs to steal that blink away from Anti-Mage. It's such a good spell on Rubik, honestly. I don't know why he didn't do it already. Oh, mid lane.
That is a
Universe.
big Omni Slash. Faded doesn't quite have enough to bring him down, though.
No mana for a spin either.
The reach here from the rest of his team, not quite long enough.
If he stole that blink, though, on Rubik,
It would have been huge.
it's one of the best items. Sorry, I mean, one of the best items as well, Blink Dagger on Rubik, but the spell is just amazing too. That's why most teams like to draft Rubik versus heroes such as Anti-Mage or Weaver. You just have these high mobility spells to steal that are constantly used, so it's very hard to miss that spell. It's very hard not to steal it. So, yeah. After they get that, they get an additional way of initiating. Suddenly, they can actually kill even Universe.
Rezo AM is starting to get out of control, though.
He's catching up. He has almost taken over the Jug. A Jug that has more towers under his belt. And just,
And like you said, there's no way of catching him. Right now, Rezo just bouncing from lane to jungle to lane to jungle. Full Manta style.
no, you can't. Like, what do you do? Like, you need to wait for this Abyssal, I guess, on Jug. It's gonna be very hard to catch AM. Or even try to catch him. I guess what you do is you ignore him, you just push, you play your own game, and you hope for the best. Usually that does not work out very well for a team when they ignore an anti-mage, but you know, it might happen here. Universe, what he's doing is he's just farming. I mean, look at this.
Well,
Forward Gaming is just farming. They're like,
it's this late game composition that Forward have, and they're just cutting waves and pushing lanes.
yeah, but
FTD are grouping up as 5, and they're not dealing with any of it.
FTD isn't really reacting, as you said. They're not dealing with it. They're not reacting properly. It takes them so much time to go for this one push onto the tier 2. This tier 2 should have been long gone. This tower shouldn't be here. Like, they use a Omni Slash on Bristleback. They don't take him down. They get him super low, and then they go back. Now they're trading towers too, because they're losing tier 1 on mid. Anti-Mage is gonna continue split pushing too.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now they're porting. Like this move as well. Now I can't agree with this either. Now that you have ported, I think the play here is to push and force them back. And after you force them back, then you take over their jungle.
Because now Forward just reset, come back and push lanes again.
But look, not only that, economically, look at what they just did. They ported back to their base. They basically forced Anti-Mage into their own jungle, and now they're gonna go into that same jungle and try and farm it. The creeps are gone, and he just farmed everything. He's gonna go to his, go back bottom, just out-push it again. So they're making his life very easy, and they're making it hard for this Jug to find his farm too. So overall, and look at this, they're committing all 3 cores on the bottom lane, while Bristle, Dire Jungle, Ember, mid, Anti-Mage, the other side of the Dire Jungle, they're spread out much better. They're using the resources on the map much smarter, and because of that, Anti-Mage has taken over the Jug right now. He's on top.
He is the big dog.
These movements as well.
Look at him. Rezo is on your tier 3, clearing out your creep waves.
Yeah, because the rest of them are fighting around the secret shop.
They sure are. They start with a grip. Stolen and cancelled by James, though, and SVG from that high ground.
Oh, no vision.
He's trying to get himself out. This Dire Observer Ward gives them perfect vision, as FTD can't see a damn thing.
Ember is an Elder Titan. Elder Titan is trying to run away from Yavar, but he won't be very successful, I think. Oh, he will be. Yeah, Ember realized he has grip on Robic. Let's not go for this. I might die.
I think
They can fight them, maybe even. Nah, they don't wanna. They're gonna wait for AM. Grip.
they're going to catch with a stolen grip, but the Nightmare save keeps the Ember alive. MSS, the only casualty of war, is the BKBs.
I mean, MSS, come on, bro. You are a Crystal Maiden, but you're not really that strong. You can't just run in.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Well, they will try high ground. AM and Ember.
Yeah, they're gonna try and split push and creep skip. Ember is gonna get that next wave, but I don't know. This is a catapult wave. Maybe they're gonna force them to fight. Anti-Mage is gonna have Battle Fury soon, so...
SVG gets caught outside of his base. Universe thinking about making that move in. Even has a tanky bristleback. He just wants to try and defend this tier 3. Lift up onto Ember though. Now the Omni Slash, but a nice self-Yules keeps him alive until the Ravage arrives. Chan there with a nice little twofer. As Crystal Maiden and Bane both forced to buy back, they're losing their barracks, but Resolution in the meanwhile sneakily pushing mid tier 3. Let's see if we can get a good trade out of this. Bristle and Bane trying to keep FTD away. This melee racks with the Crimson Guard is incredibly tanky. And they'll just try and pick off SVG, whittle down the numbers of 4 before they can finish off this objective. Rezo does get the tier 3 mid. QYQX and Chan trying to make their retreat, but AM arriving and Universe tanking with a freeze.
Go, Iron Maiden!
MSS will slow them and slay them. Chan in trouble. And a couple of kills go the way forward after losing their melee racks.
They lost the melee racks, they bought back the supports, but honestly, I think they're fine with that. AM finished his butterfly, and he's gonna be massive in this next engagement. They have to lock him down somehow. They still have the grip. They have the grip for spell steal on half of its duration, so maybe with that grip they can catch AM. It is a way. There's a blink Atrolance on Rubik, but he needs help. He needs assistance, and it seems that forward they're just gonna go for rush. It's like, I mean, they lost one side, but that's nothing. They're playing the long con, right? They're giving you just a little bit, but once they come, they're gonna take away everything from you. So once they come online,
it's a little treat before they decapitate you.
Yeah. They're basically fattening them up to make the steak even juicier. Basically, that's it. They have the cheese now on Bristle. They have the Aegis on the Anti-Mage. Bristle did go for a lot of utility. He has that Crimson, he has that Flats. He's buying Lotus as well, so I'm proven wrong. He's going all in on utility. He's gonna do a whole lot for his team. Doesn't have that big ultimate such as Ravage, obviously, of Tide, but doesn't truly matter, does it? There's a huge smoke.
I mean, it feels almost like a desperation smoke.
They want to use that grip, but the spell steal is running out, and AM is just porting back. They're gonna use the smoke tool, perhaps, if they even have to.
Resolution immediately other side of the map.
Oh, grip.
There's the grip. Onto Universe. And he is a big boy. Doesn't really feel the pain from that one. Dodges away from the Earth Splitter and turns to fight. Chan.
They can turn this, I believe.
Even with the pipe and the wand, they get a two-man chains away from the static link. They maneuver, and now they can go back in.
Now the grip, perhaps.
RG's in trouble. AM arrives. There's the Ravage. Chan catches the majority of forward. SVG will pop his wand, but he's got to turn the tail and run as the Aegis. It is used up, and Resolution bails on this fight. He can't go back in here, can he? Faded is spinning back towards MSS, who forced after the high ground.
Rubik has freezing field.
And Universe is so tanky, he's going to turn a battle. Yawar has the remnants, a big burst onto Chan. There goes the tide. And finally, Resolution feels comfortable. Properly joining the fight. Now he's chasing, maneuvering forward. Faded with no Omni Slash, only Manta and Mjolnir.
Oh, he might fall here.
Field stolen by James. kills off that anti-mage. Forward, we're not expecting that. Is Universe going to keep going on this one? I think Yamar with no remnants is probably saying, guys, let's calm down a little bit here, shall we? Tries for the Rubik.
Can he get him?
With another slight maybe,
Oh,
but it's so slow. There it is.
With the edge of it. The bare edge of
very
it, yeah. Overall, though, I think for the Dream, this Juggernaut, he definitely itemized well. That MKB came on time. As soon as Anti-Mage has the Butterfly, he has the MKB as well, so he has a way of dealing with the AM. And AM has to be a bit more careful about how he approaches these fights, as we all saw. Few crits, with that MKB, you're gone. So I think most importantly, they need that Lotus on Bristleback. As soon as he gets that Lotus, AM is going to have something that clears that lift, something that's actually going to allow him to blink out if he gets caught. So they need some saving items. 1 Force Staff is not enough right now. Overall, that fight proved that this game is much more even than I thought in the first place. I expected AM after that bottom fight to have just a free game. I expected him to just go over them, but this Aghanims on Razor and some MKB on Jug.
And depending on what Maiden steals, right?
Exactly.
AM has the BKB queue now, so that will at least remove a lot of the problems he's facing, as will Ember Spirit with a fresh BKB of his own. Both of the big cores for Forward with that magic immunity could cause a lot of issues for FTD, because in the early days of that fight, you know, the Ravage was huge. Forward skirting around the edges of the trees, getting caught by that Ravage, had to reset several times. But if you've got BKB, AM, and Ember Spirit,
yeah, then you can just go ham as long as Jug is not hitting you.
Yeah.
Because that Jug hurts, honestly. That Jug is massive. He's keeping up with the AM, and that's not easy. AM has Battle Fury, he has Mobility Spell, obviously, that Link. Juggernaut invested in a Blink of his own as well, so that's nice. This Shrine trade is never worth it. If you're taking the Shrine as Dire, you have to take that one exactly. You want that one because it's an easy access point to the Rosh. So
sure is. Nice bit of bonus money for Rezo.
Of course, he's going for that Basher. Once he gets it, perhaps he can even jump on the Jug.
And it lets him push this bot lane quite nicely because he can't get backstabbed with a Shrine TP.
What do you think about tags on Razor? Not really an item that I see very often on him.
Did he go for both the talents? Oh, he
has the interval. Yeah. Alright.
I don't know, do they feel like they were struggling to push high ground, or?
They weren't struggling, honestly. They took the side that they went for. But yeah, I mean, he decides to go for it.
I guess if you're chasing a Bristleback,
yeah,
he wants some way to kind of...
That's true.
Break him down little by
little.
little.
Strike him all the time and zap him a little bit. There's a lot to absorb on that Bristle. What does Rubik have? He didn't steal anything so far. Look at the smoke. They're so sneaky. And they know Forward Gaming is aware, really very well aware of what's going on.
Why does Rubik have a static charge? Well, that's why he jumps in, blinks forward, catches and kills the Bane.
Anyone else?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it. The healing ward needs to be finished off, though. That's something that we didn't really look at, right? Is there's no one to click the healing ward apart from Bane and Maiden.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden has to go super deep. Has a BKB, by the way, that Maiden of his.
Sure does, with a Force Staff. A quick stomp and static link onto Universe, though, allows YRG to nab 87 bonus damage. And this Aghanims on Razor is going to work on these buildings with a few little hits and crits. Universe Force Staff to the low ground.
He's getting these Raxes on mid, actually. He's got him. Got him.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and the courier. He's got the courier.
Oh, that's a Yule Scepter. Out of play, and they jump in. Yamar's BKB. They move forward. Kill off one. That's Rubik down, so no big steal. Static Link is broken early. The stop won't catch in the freezing field with a BKB. MSX goes wild, and Universe, he knows this chase and hunt down is going to be simple for them. Chan on the high ground has a Ravage, but Resolution's BKB has come out to play. He's being destroyed by the Juggernaut as Faded turns, swipes with his sword, but YRG, he's trapped now. 5 versus 1. The poor little Razor has nowhere to run.
Yeah, he's just gonna fall to the numbers. Look at them circling around him like wolves. And he falls at
Piranhas.
the end. Yeah, piranhas. Alright, Rezo gets the side, gets the courier, gets 4 kills. And honestly, that courier went over him twice. The first time someone microed him and used the shield, but then someone sent the use to himself. I wonder who's getting that use. Is it maybe you, Sir James?
It is. Sir James.
Sir James?
Sir James the Third.
Shame on yourself, sir. Killing that innocent courier that way. So, are we still having T-tours?
A little bit.
A little bit? Alright.
Yeah, we'll just restart everything after the game. No big issue. What's faded up to now? Lincoln's being queued. He's had enough of being gripped.
I just started singing that song Johnny B in my head, but with Gary B instead. I'm done.
Gary be good.
Nah, not that one.
Oh.
The rap one.
Okay. I don't know what one you're talking about, but sure.
yeah, whatever.
Do you want to give us a rendition?
No, I don't wanna.
Sing for us.
No. I refuse.
Damn.
They're suffering from frame drops.
The only thing keeping them in this is your voice.
They don't have to suffer from me singing as well. Okay, there's Refresher Shard now on Yavar, there's Aegis, there's Basher on AM. He still gets hit quite hard by the Jug, but there's also Cheese on Bristle. How do you take them all down? That's the question. Where do you get the damage from? Do you get it from Razor's ulti with Aghanim? Doubtful.
They've got so many lives.
Do you get it from Jug? Well, maybe you could before, but everyone on Forward Gaming, they itemized a bit passively, and so did Jug, so I don't know what he's gonna be able to do with this Lincolns. It's gonna save him from, obviously, from the grip, but is it worth it? Is it like an item that he needed this game? That's the question. Shouldn't he have went for some
damage,
like crazy amount of damage to just jump in and blow someone up?
That's one of the biggest problems.
We will never know
for carry players, right?
Yep.
Do I pick it, like, do I buy an item to counter the enemy carry's item? Do I try and outpace them?
Do I buy something that's gonna keep me alive so that I can actually hit them?
Or do I Eternal Envy it and just buy a rapier?
Or do I Eternal Envy and just buy a useless pipe? Anything.
Just buy multiple hoods. It's all good.
Multiple hoods.
Multi-hoods. So Forward not committing hard for anything, just pushing every lane and every wave as they ping out the top tier 2, very low on HP, and Rezo should be able to go and grab that one with a quick little sweep down top lane. And for the Dream, 38 minutes in, they're on the back foot yet again. Not able to take any of these big team fights that they would desire. And honestly, I'm starting to wonder, like, they need a Hex. FTD needs some kind of additional control.
They needed it, like, we called that long time ago. You have this Rubik that can catch the AM,
yeah,
and it did work out a couple of times, but now that the Lotus is there, it's very hard for that spell, for one lift to be enough for that anti-mage to die to it, so that's just not enough control. They need more.
It's going to be a heart for Universe.
Yeah,
he's so close to it.
He's been sitting on a lot of gold for a while now. Gets that Reaver. It's very close to a heart as well. What, 3k gold with that heart? He's gonna be, yeah, about 3k-ish. With the cheese, a very unlikely kill. These targets are so hard for them to kill. You have the Elder Titan natural order though. And the lift. And
then?
And then nothing, and then you hit him a few times and he runs away.
Maybe if Tide was there, they go for the Ravage,
he's
but
now.
AM sees the Tide coming in, the backstab from the Ember, and the Bristle arriving. The Static Link will drain some of Universe's damage, but it's not going to be enough by a long shot. QX immediately falls flat on his face with buyback available. And Forward have used a couple of their BKBs to make this happen. Rezo still holding on to his and Aegis for another 2 minutes or so. But with The creep wave's all pretty much collapsing on this Radiant base. FTD, they've got to be sweating now.
Yeah, the only reason you should rush this if you're forward gaming is the fact that you have Aegis, right? So with that you can kind of pressure the high ground. But besides that, honestly, you don't even have to go YOLO. You can just be alright. Just chill, farm, circle around their base like vultures. Don't let them come outside. If someone does decide to go outside, you just run at him. Try and get that kill. But you're just happy with this status quo as well.
Ooh, a double damage rune top.
I wonder if they're gonna go for it. Check it. It is a minute 40 runes, so they should realize that there are runes on both sides. AM. Alright, he's starting. And he's backing off.
Just a little poke. There's SVG. Blinked upon by James, quickly dispatched.
Just the lift used, nothing more. I mean, SVG has to be a bit more careful. He is a Bane, he's not this AM or a Bristleback. But look at this, they want to fight here, it looks like.
There's a DD on this Ember though. Yawar has just bottled it up. Bane buys back. Omni Slash arriving through the creep wave as it's reflected and bounced onto Resolution. The Lotus has put Rezo into Omni Slash, has killed off 2 heroes. Faded with a spin TP, gets the heck out of there. But OIRG hit by the Abyssal Blade and Yawar chains onto the southeast side. Sees the Rubik, picks him off. And the chase continues onto this Razor, who is absolutely done for.
Poor FTD. They just got obliterated by their own Omni Slash as Antimage just blinked upon them and just destroyed them.
FTD forced to multi-buyback at this point. Yeah. Aegis does get reclaimed, but they've still got the cheese and the refresher shard.
And the Lotus Orb that you can spam on Rezo all the time. You don't have the lift from the Rubik. I'm wondering why they're not actually committing to this. I think that AM could just destroy that tower. There is a Ravage, so they're just respecting the tide. They're respecting that.
Bottom lane's in trouble.
And the bottom lane. They're respecting the creeps. And look at that, Bok. They're like... They're teasing. Faded thinks that they're cowards, but they're just waiting. They're being patient, showing discipline. There's 7k gold on Anti-Mage. He's gonna get himself a shard.
A 28k lead. Yeah, feels not long ago that FTD were the ones really in the driving seat of this game, but it
looked that way, didn't it? It looked like they were, and then a couple of missed opportunities, couple of mistimed fights. Suddenly this Bristleback is almost on 4k gold.
That's some server lag on top of the OBS lag that we've got. It's been a bit of a disaster today, hasn't it, Lizard?
We're doing fine.
We're doing perfectly fine. And so we're forward.
This lag is basically how I feel in my head right now anyway, so I'm in sync.
And they've got every single lane converging towards Radiant base. I'm surprised that Rezo isn't just top pushing away. With his blink.
He could have been, right? He could just be top.
He's got both blink talents, so he could be top and just double blink down to bottom lane quite easily.
I mean, do you have to do that though? You can. But the only thing that you're risking is them just killing off all 4 of your teammates on this bottom lane. So right now, I think you're strong enough to just fight them. This Jug has that blink. Can go in, can go ham, but he needs to find the right target. Oh, this courier. Oh, please, no. Not again. AM is right there.
Oh.
Did you see it? He saw it.
Yeah, he knows. Hello. No, goodbye. It shields.
He has blink talent.
He does. He can go for it again if he wants to, but he won't. He holds on patiently.
Yeah, Hyperstone saved. So they're gonna have, what, an AC very soon on Razor. Pretty good. Rezo is taking top, though.
One thing we really haven't looked at though is this Tide Ravage. You know,
they're losing both sides, man.
Yeah, they can't fight. They can't fight into this. I think the only thing they could do is have Tide blink in pre-BKB, like pre-Ember BKB, but he's already popped it and he's charging forward, aggressively maneuvering, and there's the Omni Slash again. Lotus Orb. So Yawar bounces around in the fight. The double static link returning and stealing damage at the same time as the Ravage arrives. There's a big hit onto 3. This is good for FTD. They've lost their buildings, but at least they'll win a fight. Yawar being chased. Does he have remnants? No. Enemy Yules. He can remnant self-Yules. Slight. No, doesn't jump. AM in the meanwhile looking
He's
for
just
mega
going for
creeps.
the Raxus. Can he get him though? I don't think so.
Doesn't look like it.
Blinks out.
Radiant's
Who's this? Oh, it's Bristleback. AM can come back in here, right?
Yeah. He's creating space.
Come on, Rezo.
No, Rezo.
Oh, hit the buildings, dude.
And Universe was like, dude, what did I create all the space for? Like, I just handled 5 of them while you were running away.
Oh, Rezo gets a DD and then just goes bottom and kills the racks anyway.
But did you see that? Like, that whole engagement was not strategically played right from for the dream. If Anti-Mage does that play, you have to understand that you're basically in a check position. And the only thing that you can do is save one of your sides. You cannot go for both. If you send Jug top and the rest of your team bottom, what happens is Anti-Mage takes top versus Jug, and then he joins the fight bottom lane, which is definitely not optimal for you. What they needed to do most likely is to just fight one side, the side where Anti-Mage isn't, because they can't link out, right?
Try and 5v4 it down bottom.
Yeah, because they were committing bottom. They were trying to go in for the kill. And look at this. It looks like they're gonna go for Throne here. For the dream.
Okay.
They're dreaming big dreams of going for that Throne.
Rezo's just taking tier 4s though.
They have AC, they have Aghanim's.
FTD have very limited options, so I guess this is their biggest play.
I mean,
AC, Ags, tier 4's fallen.
It's courageous to say the least.
I guess it's a coin flip is better than no flip at this point for FTD, and they're actually not doing that badly. Rezo, he's on the throne, he's dropping it low.
Oh, this is going to be close.
This is going to be super tight. Yawa's in there, but the BKBs from FTD. The base race is real. It's dropping lower on the Radiant
This
side.
is so close.
They've got control forward. They know they've got it now. A triple for MSS, and GG is called. Rezo takes the base.
I mean, honestly, much closer than I have expected. Like, that was pretty legit. It's a nice try. I think Rezo, after taking the barracks, he could have went back, right? He could have fought them in his base with the buybacks. He had that play. Instead, he went for a little bit riskier of a play with that base race. I don't know how his team feels about that after seeing how close it was. I think it's maybe because of the fact that he did not see the... I mean, he obviously he knew that Razor had Aghanims, but he didn't see it in action for quite some time. We don't really see Razor buying Axe, so you just don't feel the speed at which he takes your towers, right? Plus the AC, so maybe he would have opted for something different. It was the right call, obviously, but
It's just a hard call to make and a hard call to follow through on.
yeah, and it's always nicer to have the safer call done, right? The call that's still gonna win you the game. Don't push high ground until you take Rosh. Go back, defend, then end the game. You have Megas. There was no risk involved in doing that. I think they would take a clean fight anyway. But overall, a nice base race for us.
Yeah.
Always fun to watch.
Some good hype at the end. We will restart the stream quickly, guys. Game 2 coming up in not too